Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for joining me. For today's video, we're going to talk about your two-way frequency table in statistics. So first you need to know what is this. So your two-way table is basically a frequency table that arranges your data in categories and having two totals, and you're going to have two categories being compared. So when it comes on to your totals, you realize that you have column total and you have row total. So you may ask yourself, what does this look like? So to know what it looks like is basically you having two categories. So right here, sports, dance, and TV can be in one category, male and female in another. Sometimes scenarios that you read, they will tell you what each category is, but sometimes they'll ask you to give a category to it. So right here, men and women, they want us to label this as group of people. So right here, we should label this as group of people. If you don't want to use group of people, you could say men and women could be gender. Men and women could be considered as adults. Alright, so you are basically giving a category to men and women. Hold on there, my board just went local on me. So let's go back to where I was, some current slide. So, right here. So it can be adults and it can be group of people or gender. They want us to call dance, sports, and TV leisure time activity. If you don't want to label it as this, you could consider these hobbies, and you could be watching TV, so you could consider these to be hobbies, or you could consider these to be favorite pastime activities. And the list goes on. Alright, so when it comes on to your two-way table, we have some totals that we pay attention to. So it can be the total for your columns, and that's one that go up and down. So your column total, which would be dance, sports, and TV, which should be down here. Or you can focus on your row total. So with the row total, you know the total amount of men, and you know the total amount of women in the sample. Alright? So regardless of that, when you add them, you realize that adding the column total and the row total, this cell here, this final cell, is common to both of them. And so adding horizontally and vertically should give you the same answer when you get to this cell right here. Alright, so there are some names given to the regions in your frequency table. So I'm going to do some addition and then we can talk about that. So right here, that's 18. So to get the column total, they basically add downwards. So they add 2 plus 16 to give you 18. On this side, 10 plus 6 to give you 16. Here, 8.
Good morning, Iron Horses. Mr. Freeman, President Ross, and Coach Campbell, can you please come to Mr. Bucholz's office for your 8:15 meeting? Thank you.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm at school. 8 plus 8, that's also 16. So right here, I can tell you that you have 18 people who like to dance, 16 people who like sports, 16 people who like to watch TV. Alright? If you add across, you can add the total amount of men by saying 2 plus 10 plus 8, and that will give you 20. Total amount of women, 16 plus 6 plus 8, and that will give you 30. So there are 30 women and 20 men. Adding downwards, 20 plus 30, that's 50. That's 50 people in all. If you added 18 plus 16 plus 16, it should also give you 50. And that's how you complete your frequency table. So we want to know what are these numbers representing, the ones in black. So right here, 2, 10, 8, 8, 6, and 16 are called your joint frequency. So where you have two categories overlapping, for example, men who likes to dance represents 2 people from your population. So men who likes to dance is 2 people from the entire 50 persons in the sample. Alright, so men who like sports represents 10. Men who like TV represents 8 people. The same thing goes for women. Alright, so once you know what these numbers here represent, you can answer the how many questions that may ask. For example, how many men watch TV? Men watch TV would be 8. How many women like sports? Women liking sports would be 6. So where they combine is considered to be your joint frequency. Another frequency you will hear about is your marginal frequency. And your marginal frequency is basically the totals for the column and the rows. I'm going to shade this region for you. So your marginal frequency is the total for the columns and the total, whoops, I think I brought this marker, and the total for the rows. And that's considered to be your marginal frequency. We don't add the 50 in it because the 50 is a total for everyone in the population. So these are considered to be your marginal frequency. With marginal frequency, you mainly use these when you have conditional probability questions to answer, where you use smaller groups from your entire population to answer questions. So we'll talk about this in another video. But for now, those are called your marginal frequencies. Marginal frequency. And the 2, the 10, the 16 are considered to be, I'm going to erase, it's okay, to be your joint frequency. Alright, so that's how you complete your frequency table. They could have given you the missing regions within each joint frequency for you to find that, but very soon we're going to talk more about that. So let's move on. Alright, so this question says, 8th grade students who were asked whether they participate in after-school activity or not, and you're asked to complete the two-way table below. So here we have 2 categories being compared. So we have after-school activity and we have gender. So right here we have male and female. After-school activity, is it a yes or is it a no? This table requires you to complete it through calculation. We have to subtract to get another region, or you have to add to get something. Alright, so I'm going to have to grab my calculator. So you may want to know the total number of persons in this sample. So a total of 187 persons are in this sample. So we want to know the total amount of male, the total amount of people who says no, the total amount of females who says no, the total amount of females who says yes, and the same for male. So to find a missing region in your two-way table, you have to do some subtraction or addition. So normally, on the slide we just did, you realize that I added the 2 and the 16 to give me the 18. I added the 16, the 6, and the 8 to give me 13. So basically, when you have 2 regions in here, you have to add these 2 to give you the final answer at the total. But since as we don't have the 2 there, we can work the 187 and the 102 by subtracting them. So 187 minus 102, which I don't know in my head, I'm not working it because I'm past that stage right now. Right here, we have 85. So 85 students said no, they didn't participate in after-school activities. If you want to know the total amount of males, you basically are going to have to subtract the 95 from the 187 because normally you would have added them. So let's go. So 187 minus 95 is going to be 10 something. 187 minus 95 is going to be 92. And this region here tells you the total amount of males in your sample. So here, let's find the males who says yes. So 40 minus 90 from 92 will, no, 40, will give us 52 in all for the males who said yes. 52 minus 102 to find females who said yes. hold on guys. So 102 minus 52 will give us 50. Wow, I didn't have to do that in my head, but I just did it. Give us 50 females who said yes. So let's find the total females who said no. So 85 minus 40 to give us 45 females who said no. So you may ask yourself, do I always have to work from one point to another, or where will be my starting point? There's no right answer to this. Once you have two numbers in the same row or the same column, you can subtract them or add them to find whatever is missing. So there's no right way and wrong way of starting your two-way table. And that's basically what your two-way table comprises of, and how you can find the missing cells and find the total amount of people in your sample. All right? So you could be asked how many students said yes, right here. Yes for after school activity, it would be 102. How many females are in the sample? Total females came up to 95. How many males? Total males came up to 92. How many people said no? Total number of people saying no would be 85. And that's how you complete your two-way table. Feel free to comment and let me know if you have a question to ask or if you want to see something else being worked. Thank you very much for coming. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend.